We all know David Goggins, the man who pushed his body beyond the limits, the Navy SEAL who ran ultra marathons with broken bones, the one who says, you have to be willing to suffer. But what if I told you that the mental toughness he embodies isn't just a product of his unbreakable will? What if I told you that scientists have actually studied the mechanisms behind mental toughness, and their findings could change the way you approach life, success, and even failure? At the Research Paper, we aim to empower minds with research-backed wisdom. And today, we're diving deep into the psychology of mental toughness. We'll explore groundbreaking research that unlocks the secrets of how people like Goggins are able to endure, persist, and ultimately conquer their own limits. Let's start with one of the most significant studies on mental toughness, conducted by Dr. Jim Loehr, a psychologist known for working with top athletes. Back in 1983, he examined the mental habits of athletes competing in high-stress environments. Think Olympic athletes and world champions. He found that there was a common thread among them. They viewed adversity not as a threat, but as a challenge. In other words, these athletes had developed what he called cognitive reframing. This allowed them to transform fear and stress into motivation. They didn't run away from discomfort, they leaned into it. Now, imagine applying this mindset to your own life. Next time you're facing a tough situation, whether it's a big presentation, a difficult conversation, or even just a long, exhausting day, don't see it as a threat. Reframe it. See it as an opportunity to grow. This is your chance to prove to yourself just how strong you really are. When you shift your mindset in this way, you change the way your brain responds to stress. Instead of shutting down, it becomes energized. Then there's the work done by Dr. Angela Duckworth, who in 2007 brought a whole new perspective to the table with her research on grit. Duckworth, a psychologist at the University of Pennsylvania, studied thousands of individuals, from West Point cadets to spelling bee champions, and she found that talent alone wasn't the predictor of success. Instead, the one thing that stood out was perseverance and passion for long-term goals. She coined the term grit to describe this ability to push forward despite failure, obstacles, or setbacks. Her study included a sample of over 1,000 West Point cadets and a group of 400 students, and it revealed something fascinating. Those with higher levels of grit were more likely to stick with challenges and succeed in the long run. Now, let's turn this into actionable advice. Ask yourself, what are your long-term goals? Maybe it's finishing a project, building a business, or transforming your body. The key is to cultivate grit by focusing on the process, not just the outcome. Remember, grit isn't about never failing. It's about getting back up again and again, no matter how many times you fall. Practice this in your day-to-day life by setting small, manageable challenges and pushing through them. Each time you succeed, even in small ways, you're building your grit. And here's another compelling study, this time from the world of neuroscience. A team of researchers at the University of California, led by Dr. Caitlin D.K. McDonald, found in 2013 that mental toughness involves not just emotional regulation, but also a unique connection between the brain's prefrontal cortex and its limbic system. The study involved over 100 participants and revealed that people who can maintain control over their emotions during intense stress are able to make better decisions, keep calm, and stay focused under pressure. Essentially, mental toughness isn't just about pushing through the pain, it's about controlling the emotional response to that pain. What can you do with this insight? Simple. Train your mind to stay calm during moments of stress. Use techniques like deep breathing, mindfulness, or even visualization. Picture yourself in a stressful situation, then imagine yourself responding with calmness, clarity, and focus. It's about conditioning your brain to maintain control when chaos strikes. These three pieces of research all point to one thing. Mental toughness is not an innate trait. It's a skill you can develop. And like any skill, it requires practice, patience, and persistence. As we've seen from David Goggins and others, it's about pushing through when others would give up, transforming fear into motivation, persevering through failure, and keeping your emotions in check. So, next time you feel like quitting, remember this. The science says you have the power to be tougher than you think. Start today, build your grit, and take control of your mind.